Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently working on getting these missions completed because I apparently completely forgot about them. We're working on expanding trade in Judea, but we need a lot of political influence to move further with that, so that's going to take a little bit before that happens. Now we're at about 20 aggressive expansion right now, so it's probably not going to be this episode that we go to war again, although we'll be getting really close by the end of it, I suspect. We do, of course, have quite a lot of city buildings that we can continue to build. So we've got... Oh, I need to move this. Right. Every time I restart the game, it repositions that. Sequoina would be where we need to go. It's spelled with an A. Okay. Sequoina. There we go. So that is right up over this direction. What do we got here? Well, we produce sheep. Okay, sure. There's not too much else to be done here other than start developing our freemen. So that seems fine. We've got Ariza at this point, which is out over here. Okay, very similar story. That's going to be the case with a lot of these, to be honest. So we've got Karkat Yogurt out over here. I will probably just refer to that as yogurt. Perfect. And then we'll get a couple of freeman districts. Now, do we actually have a colonizable territory here? No, we don't. Okay, so that is definitely noted. Next up is Antiochia Mesopotamias. And I definitely remember working on that one before. Yeah, I definitely remember this name. More followers of the Riven Lord. Okay, now he's apparently there's the followers of the Riven Lord. Okay, this is becoming a very strange version of Christianity. Okay, that's that's going to be exciting. I mean, I guess you could definitely say that they are followers of a Riven Lord. As in, like, when talking about, like, the crucifixion? That kind of makes sense. Sure. Whatever. Well, I mean, we don't necessarily want them to be setting their religion to other things, but to be honest, it doesn't seem to be having that much of an effect, at least not yet. It might soon enough, but for now, we're okay. I mean, we do have a bunch of these great temples, and we're converting pretty quickly as it is, so it seems reasonably fine. So we need a freeman district here, and then a tax office. We also have a civic perk available, and I don't even know where Daru is. Do we even want that to have a forum? Probably. But, yeah, that's okay, actually. And it's not something that we can actually work on right now, because... Interesting. It didn't get the forum. I'm thinking that's because of the provincial loyalty. Huh. Well, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We're going to head over to Halib next. There are 2 building slots over here. And we'd like to put in a pair of freeman districts. Looks wonderful. We're falling behind on the gold at this point. I mean, that's a good problem to have. So this is our next location up here. Commercial ventures have finished up in Judea. We can't continue with that. Our political influence is too low. So we will definitely need to wait on that. Not many building slots here. We can just build a pair of taverns. Okay. So Kamisa is next. Wonderful. That is right out over here, and we can put in a pair of, actually, a pair of taverns is the way to go here. And there's a commercial district here? Okay. Now, you might say, oh, well, commercial districts give local-based trade routes, right? And you can probably build commercial districts in Jerusalem to get the mission qualified. I don't think that works. I think you can only do this via provincial investment based on the terminology here. Invest in 3 new trade routes in Judea. I think that has to be... It's not based on the number of trade routes Judea has. We have 31 trade routes here. I think it's based instead on provincial investments. Specifically this. So we need 70 additional political influence to do that, and that's fine. We will get there. For now, we need to get Maris, where we have 2 building slots. Okay, so this is definitely a slave location here. We'll build a pair of taverns there. That seems good. Next would be Olby. Okay. And that's down over this direction. Okay. So this would be a pair of tax offices. Now, one thing to think about is we are at 17.87 aggressive expansion. Are we still truced with Macedon? Yes, until 3 April 811. 3 more years. Okay. We could attack Armenia and take their territory that is out over here and up this way. That is all an option. And we do have a scorned family member here. So we're going to need to put in this guy. Sure, that'll be fine. So we could attack Armenia. That is definitely an option. Do we have a CB on Armenia already? No. Okay. So that is understood. We should probably fabricate a claim on them, but we need the political influence. So we're in a bit of a catch-22 there, right? So we're in a situation here where we need a lot of political influence for multiple things. Do we care about the holy site in Astazaxa? I want to know. Astazada. So that is up over here somewhere. There you are. Okay, so there's... It's this sanctuary? We would get Desecrated Grove for 240 months. This will drop our country happiness, but it will reduce our build cost by 10%. I don't actually care about that much. I don't actually see a holy site here. I do see a sanctuary, and I wonder if we can rebuild that. I don't see a change. Okay. Sure. We'll take the political influence. That is really, really needed. So that's good. Next up would be Heian. So that seems fine. So that is up over this direction, and this is research here, but it only has a few building slots. There's very, very few people in that city. So next up would be Kadoy, which is down here. Okay, that seems fine. We'll put in a pair of forums. Next would be Araba. Down here. Wonderful. We'll put in a forum, and we'll put in a Freeman district. Okay, Delanda would be next. Beautiful. And I am keeping an eye on our aggressive expansion. I want to get the political influence up high enough. And we'll see how that ends up going. We have low food supply over here. Both of these are reasonably fine for now. They'll probably recover. I'm not too concerned about them. Okay, next up would be Bira. We have a lot of these that have 2 building slots available. Okay. So here, of course, we would put in a pair of Freeman districts. That is absolutely fine for now. Next, we would go with Sawanda, which is up over here. Okay. We don't need the Grand Theater. We could do... The Grand Theater arguably would be useful, but we're going to put in a pair of forums. Okay. Ooh, hello. Abarepi actually has just acquired a 3rd building slot. So that's good. We're going to hop down over here. This is going to be 2 forums and a Freeman district. Okay. So next up is going to be Tomisa. We are definitely falling behind on the gold. So that's, again, a very good problem to have. We're going to put in a tax office here. And next up is... Oh, hello. This just changed. Bet Moths. There we go. Up over here. So we would definitely put in a pair of tax offices here. Our researcher just died. That was our martial researcher. Okay, we're going to put this guy in. He is pretty good at the job, and he's going to be done with that in about 5 years. Okay, so that's very, very good, of course. That means that we're going to be able to get town criers soon, which will boost up our political influence gain by 10%. And then we're going to want to come down here and grab Chironomia and Patrocinium. And that'll be a total of 35% additional political influence, which would be fantastic. Then we can start working our way down this direction, hypercost, into cultural administration, into servile bondage. So all of that is going to be an additional... That's going to be 25% in addition. Okay. And then there's also religious assimilation down here, which is pretty good. I'm not going to lie about that. Also, provincial loyalty is pretty good. So there's definitely some good stuff over that way. No doubt about that. So now we're on Garsora, which is spelled with an A. There we go. Right up over here. Beautiful. So we would put in a pair of Freeman districts. That is getting close, but we're not quite there yet. So, Telmesos. Out over here. Cool. So this is a Freeman district and then a tax office. That's phenomenal. We're very glad to see that, of course. Next up would be Arseno Lykias. Right down over here. Cool. So we'll get that maxed out on its Freeman districts. And now we're on to Gundusa. Right over here. So we put in a forum and a Freeman district. So a lot of these are very, very similar cities, right? We're setting these up in very samey ways. And, I mean, that's because we're incentivized to. We've got Serapion next, which is right out over here. Okay, so we're going to put in a pair of Freeman districts here. We're very, very close to getting this. Hang on, we're at 89% here. Oh, we just lost 3 stability. That's rude. We're 89% here. We might want to consider dropping the Great Temple here. Nope, we don't. That is keeping our province loyal right now. So for the moment, that's going to stay. Okay, next city here. Where are we? Oh, right up over here. Very, very similar location. A pair of Freeman districts there will be fine. And next would be Tauchera. Or I guess it's probably Greek, so that's probably a hard sound. Taukaira or something like that. Okay, so that is going to be right up over here. There we go. A couple of Freeman districts. And next up would be Kyrene, which is literally right next to them. Okay, wonderful. So why is there a citizen district here? Let's get rid of that. We'll replace that with a tavern and a pair of forums. A minor addendum is great, except that we need the political influence. I'm going to say not this time, perhaps. That is worth it 9 times out of 10, and this is that one time. I want to get these guys drilling. I thought we had all of these drilling, but apparently not. So we definitely want to do that. So next up is Palioros, which is not spelled like that. Okay, where are you? Out over here. Beautiful. So we would put in a pair of forums here. Actually, a tavern first, and then a forum. Well, other way around, but it doesn't really matter. So next would be Malos. Excellent. Out over here. 17 of 19, huh? Barbarians. Okay. We'll deal with those in just a moment. We know exactly where they are. It's the same barbarians that always rise, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why we only have these barbarians that rise up. Okay, we're just going to head right up over here on our roads and eliminate them before they cause any problems. And back over to Philistia we go. We just want to go station back over here, somewhere where we're not going to take attrition, and put ourselves onto drill. There we go. So I'm just looking at those food amounts. It looks okay for now. So Dory Lion would be next, out over here. Cool. So we would put in definitely a pair of forums here. We're down to 12.87 aggressive expansion at this time. So I was hoping we would get another political influence event. Those are kind of rare, though, so we shouldn't really plan around them. We may be required for a little bit here to sit at 0 aggressive expansion. Just because of we have a number of demands being placed on our political influence at this time. And I'm going to, I think, prioritize finishing this mission over further expansion. So that's definitely something to consider here as we proceed. So Menelaus is next, and that is right down over here. Excellent. So that would be a pair of freeman districts. We have a lot of these cities that are getting filled up at this point, and we're going to be able to start building tax offices soon. That is, of course, phenomenal. And we need a new commander down over here. So we need to add a commander. Ideally, he would be a member of a scorned family, but we really need high-quality commanders, so I'm going to go with this guy. Like that. And we're going to continue to drill this army. Now, we can expand our legions, and we probably should. So I'm thinking right now, as we look at our legions here, I'm thinking that we expand our front line to 25. So our center line goes up to 25 here, like this. And then we do the same here on this side. And now we're at 128 out of 129. So I would like to bring this up to 5 camels. It's not going to be, you know, perfectly even. But I would like to bring this up to 5 camels, but we can't. In fact, why can't we get additional camels? They're not listed here. We could get elephants. I guess because we're not importing camels up over here. Presumably. Let's cancel this deer route. And let's instead import some camels up over this way. So let's see here. Strategic resources. Camels. Okay. There we go. Something like that. That should allow us to recruit 1 additional camel. Yeah, there we go. But we can't recruit the other one yet. We'll have to come back to that. So that is absolutely understood. Now, we could spend down our gold by building, like, just generic slave estates everywhere. I don't know that that's a great idea, to be honest. And unfortunately, it's not really giving us what our boosts would be for any of these. That's definitely not ideal. We could spam out slave estates. That is an option. And I don't really know if that's what I want to do. I mean, it would be decent. But it's definitely something that we can think about. We're not quite there yet. Okay, so let's head up over this direction and build a couple more city buildings here. So this is a research city. We would put in an academy and then a library to really start boosting out our research input, or rather output. That would be wonderful. So we've got Samosada here, which I cannot type apparently. There we go. And that is up over this direction. Cool. Something along the lines of that should do. Okay, next up, we would be looking at Tigranakert. Where are you at? Out over here. I mean, no. That is not you. There are 2 of you. There's one out over here as well. So we've got some trade wins here. We're going to take the population growth and migration attraction. And this city is here. This is currently set up as a slave city. We'll put in a couple of forums. We need a governor up here, and this should absolutely be a member of a scorned family. We have 2 scorned families right now, and we should prioritize not this one, but this one, because this is our ruling family. So we're going to do that. We're in charge of the ruling family, and it's less bad to have that be scorned. So that seems fine for the moment. It's not bad, but it's less bad. So next up would be Plinos Lyman, or Lehman. We're going to come down over this direction, and we've got a pair of forums to put in. Cool. So, on the next month tick, we're going to be at 70 political influence. I suppose I'm contractually obligated to say nice about this number, much to my chagrin, but here we are. And we'll be there very soon. Where did I just build that? Down over here. Yeah. Don't build that there. Cool. So we're going to put in a forum and a freeman district. Cool. So we are currently less than a year away from being able to get this going, if we do not start making a claim. If we start making a claim right now, it'll be done at a good time to launch an attack. So there's that. There's more followers of the apparently Riven Lord, according to me anyway, and it shall stay that way. Yes. It will remain a local matter, I'm sure. That's 11 building slots. Ooh, this is clearly somewhere that was previously disloyal. That's great. We've got one right there and one right there as well. So these 3 cities right here, they all need big upgrades. Vegetables? Okay, we will produce more vegetables in our forges. I love it. Next up, over here, we produce cloth. We currently have some forums and a commerce district. I'm going to get rid of those. I actually want this to be a research city. So we're going to do exactly that. Fantastic. Now we've got this one. This is already set up in a reasonable way. Clearly, I did something here already. And we're going to do that. Cool. That allowed us to spend some money, which is nice. Next up is lava, which is this one. This version of lava. Okay, so we're going to put in a pair of Freeman districts here. That looks good. And next would be comma. We're definitely getting through these, and yeah, I just saw that pop up. We're definitely getting through these faster than these are expanding. We're getting to the point, okay, there's still a lot in this list. No doubt about that. There's still a whole lot in this list, but we're definitely working through them fairly quickly. Papyrus of Perselk. Do it. We'll enact that. Okay, no colonizable provinces at this time, and Perselk is actually next. Beautiful. And that is out over here. So we already have that papyrus there, of course. We can put in a tavern, and we can put in a Freeman district. Wonderful. Next up would be Cap. Cool. Right up over here, it's got a fort. It's a good spot for a fort, so we'll definitely keep that. And we'll put in a pair of forums. Okay. Alexandria Latmoy would be next, which is out over this direction. Sure, that needs a pair of Freeman districts. So I guess that's fine for now. And next up would be, oh, look at that. So here's another couple that need big investments. Okay, so we produce dates here. Easy enough. Bond of childhood, sure. So we're just going to get that done like so. And then in, is this Nineveh? I think so. We are going to need to put in a foundry here. There's a number of buildings here that we do not want. So that's going to be something like that. A foundry goes in, mills go in, slave traders, not a farmer's market, hang on, taverns, and then a forum, like that. Okay, so that sounds great. Very good progress there. We were able to spend a little bit of money. I like it. Next up is Amasea. Only 2 building slots again, but I mean, this is the standard at this point. We're not surprised by this. So next would be Shabwa. Out over here. Beautiful. So we need libraries here. This is a research city. Speaking of, how are we doing on that? We are still capped on our research efficiency. That looks good. Very good indeed. We're going to have some researches finishing up shortly. Now, we are at 79 political influence. So I want to come in here to Jerusalem, and we are, as soon as we can, going to entice business investments. Now, we could do religious endowments. That's cheaper, but that doesn't actually help us. So we're going to want to entice business investments here, and we'll get that upgrading. Once that is done, then we will be able to complete expand trade in Judea, and we're going to be able to do all of this. Now, we're going to need another 100 political influence for Jerusalem, the metropolis. So that's definitely noted. Okay. So that is certainly going to be a bit of a problem. And this is none of our business. So we are going to need a fort level here. But we're going to get a building slot here fairly soon as well. I wouldn't mind upgrading this to a metropolis right now if we had the political influence. But political influence is going to be a problem for us. This isn't surprising in any meaningful way. But it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I think the next 20 political influence that we get is going to go into a claim so that we can probably attack Armenia. Hi, Macedonian Revolt. That's exciting. By the way, I noted this at the end of last episode and said we would take a look at that this episode, and then I didn't because I completely forgot about it. So I'm not sure exactly what we've got going on here. Where is Gera at this point? They're out over this direction. Can we intervene in their war? The answer is no. I don't think we can do anything over here. We'll just have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. But that's fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.